we go. That is why I try not to render videos during the transmission. Last time I was transmitting, I thought, well, I'll just try and render that big 10-minute video. Yeah, it crashed. It crashed, so I got another 6 minutes of you. So this time I am going to wait until I am working on here, and then I'll render it and then upload it. But yeah, KA2ZNI for Friday, if I didn't mention that. Yeah, we crossed a lot of paths, and, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if a time or two we didn't walk right by each other and, you know, on a truck stop and didn't even know it. So, yeah, small world. And you're talking about the roads up here and the deer and stuff, and, yeah, the deer up here are bad. I mean, you know, we got some black bear up here, too. My buddy had a close call with a black bear here just a couple of days ago. And last year I had a close call on a black bear up there on I-94, headed over to the Twin Cities. So, oh man, yeah, deer and black bear both. So, I think the other morning I went to work. It was the first cold snap of the year, the first hard frost we had. And after a 25-mile stretch from here, I saw 16 deer. 16 deer. I was so funny when I got to work. I said, hey, man, did you see any deer? He's like, man, he says, they're out in droves. And he saw a pile of them, too. And I'm like, yeah, it must be this, you know, this cold snap brought them out. So, yeah, we do have a pile of them up here. And, you know, you don't see the hunters out like you used to either. So, the only thing that we do up here is a good thing. It's a kind of a cool way for animals to die off in the front rooms in these extreme cold temperatures. So I kind of put a hurry on, put a post here last year. And, you know, a lot of the groves were right having their fawns. I was seeing spotted fawns back in August and September yet. So, I mean, it was kind of an unusual year for this year. You know, looks like we're going to have a weekend up there to look for it. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, very good, Perry, on getting on 160 for the first time. Well, man, studying from a ticket 40-plus years ago. My Elmar gave me a old Helicopters SX-101, and that was the first band that I started on. Got home that night, got all excited, plugged it in, ran the antenna wire out through the basement door outside, and you know, it was wintertime. It was probably around the end of December. And firing up the old SX-101, I sat there and listened to the guys on the 160. And so that was the first band that I was able to play and actually enjoyed it enough. And 160 was one of my favorite bands. Because that's when my first days there 40-plus years ago. I was trying to get rid of an hobby, but you know, I never could look up to the first winter. I'm out here listening to these guys. Been going on for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. And, man, how do these guys talk for so long? You know, and I love listening to them. But after a while, you know, it's kind of the conversation. So I start tuning up and down the band, catch part of this key song, part of that key song, and I couldn't believe that WB4 along. Just had a blast there listening on 160. So the first time I got on 160 was when I was still living in Pennsylvania, and had a nice piece of property out there. Had 11 antennas up at one time, and had started out with a half-wave inverted V on 160 for a full-wave loop, and man, I just had a ball in it then. And then after leaving Pennsylvania, I kind of got off the air for a while. Not a lot of property down where we were at in Arizona. We're like out here in Phoenix. And so I was off the air for a number of years, and we moved back up here to Wisconsin when my wife retired. I said, well, I think I'm going to do it again, so we just came up here, I don't know, a month and a half ago. So we put up another antenna to be on 160, which is the one we're on right now, 600 ohm open wire antenna. It's up 100 feet in the air and 700 foot high. And I had pretty good luck here on 75, and of course it works dandy there on 160. I was down there last night for a little bit. Didn't do any transmitting, but I was listening to really about 5 minutes, and it was like, wow. Those things worked out pretty well. So pretty excited about it. 160 again here in the upcoming couple of months here. So not much more on this end. I'll probably stick in here for one more blow around, and then I'm going to take a break. Yeah, I did another recording, Jerry, and after we're done here, I'll get that rendered and uploaded. So I don't seem to have a lot of luck with this. There's really no excuse for this computer that I'm using. It's 16 gigs of RAM, and I should bring on my power tower, but I mean, it's a fairly new computer. It's pretty good, but I notice a lot of times when I try to render those videos that I'm on operating or surfing the internet, I'm trying to get this, there'll be some, chopping and some hiccups in it. So I always like to try and exercise a little patience and render them afterwards. So I tried this morning and it crashed. So we got another one all set it up here after a while. So over to you, Ty. A couple of guys are ready to get in here. Said I'll stick around here for one more. So I'm going to take a little break. But then later on this morning I'm going to get on 3880 and say hi to the guys on there. Good to pick you up yesterday, Jerry. Can you, I don't know, yeah, I think you were on 3880, weren't you? I can't remember now. I know guys kept checking in and checking in and checking in. Robert was in there and a host of other guys. Grace was keeping track of it. I think we had like 16 or 18 guys check in. 16 guys, I think it was. Maybe it was 18, something like that. So they had a pretty big group there. So again, Perry, congrats to you getting all set up and getting on 160 there. Yeah, you're going to have a ball with that. It's a fun band to be on. Gives you more options, especially during the winter months. The band goes long, it's next best band to go to is 160. W3MMR to take it. This morning, the 500 KA2. Hang on.
KK4GZQ. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. KK4GZQ checking in with KA2ZNI. Yes, this is the good this morning. Another chilly morning up here in southeast Pennsylvania. It's down to 37 now, so it's dropped a degree since I've been on the air. But nevertheless, I guess that's on course. Alright. What do I want to comment on here? Quickly, before I forget, I'm running for my this computer I'm on now, but for this actually just KA2ZNI a Dell XPS 3700 processor, 6 GB RAM, 2 GB hard drive, very similar. And I have no qualms about it. I can sit here and operate the latest software. I'm using the regular button on the Anon software, and I screen capture recording program on OBS. I'm doing like my YouTube videos and stuff. And I have my frame rate on the Anon turned all the way up to 60 frames per second on the pan adapter. The only thing I'll get, sometimes my CPU performance goes way up. It's almost 100% if I open up a browser, or if I'm surfing the net while recording a screen capture of the Anon. And if I have the pan adapter up, the pan adapter will start to slow down the frames per second and drop way down from 60 to 30. And then a split second later, it comes right back up. And that's just using too much memory. 16 gig of RAM is just not doing it. This has I forget that video card that's in it. It's an aftermarket, video card. It's not, one of these high-end gaming ones. It was a gaming one, I guess, back when this computer was new. I was doing some research, or maybe it's the video card, and I figured out that it's just not enough memory. So 2 monitors, no software, 3 tabs in a browser, the screen capture recording, audio software, my LP500 software on the computer, the external SD, just a lot of stuff going on. And I can, as long as I'm not browsing the net, and going from one website to another, it handles it fine. It's just when Firefox uses a lot of memory from one website to the next, so that's the only issue I have. So I'm thinking about upgrading to 32 gigs of RAM, which will be the max for this PC, and see how that would do things. Because as you guys know, I like doing the recordings. I'm very good on the S601 and the 160 being the first one. I can't wait to get that one right, to be honest with you. And real quick, and I'll let you get in here, Kevin. 160 meter Magley setup. My father has one over in New Jersey. He doesn't use, and he has a rotor for it. And I have a rotor control box because it's the same rotor I used to have, one of the TV rotors. I used to have it on my roof before I put it on. So I have a rotor box for it. And he offered to let me use it. He said, just come over and take it down and bring it over, and you're welcome to use it. We're about the 5th guy I've heard this month talk about the reception. This is basically the same thing as some of the paging boxes. It's connected to the software. So I have all the tools at our fingertips. Need the magnets because I tried it separately. I started using a 250-foot piece of wire, trying to drag it to one side of the house, circle the other side, it just didn't work out. So I need a magnet for it, but I'm being more and more motivation to go. I just want to get over to New Jersey and get it and back. So over to you, Kevin. Good morning to you. Sounding good up this way, buddy. Glad to hear you jumping in here this morning. KK4GZQ, let me quickly just say KK4GZQ and W3MMR.
Okie doke, Perry. Good morning to you. W3MMR with group. KK4GZQ. Man, I don't know how cold it is out there this morning, guys. Good morning to all of you. But, walked out on the front porch a while ago and went, oh wow, I think winter is here. Anyway, listening to Kevin talking about the black bears up in Wisconsin, and I didn't realize there were that many in his particular area, but only makes sense. And up there in the North Country, that there should be a lot of those. And you guys talking about 160. And I am yet to make the first transmission there. I've not even listened much on 160, to be honest about it. And would love to get an antenna up that covers 160 or something. Maybe just for 160. I don't know. would like to have something up down here, but I have a lot of thoughts, and it seems like I never get around to a whole lot. It's kind of tough when you're trying to take care of the property completely by yourself. But anyway, that's that. And maybe we'll get to, I heard you guys talking about just a simple dipole for 160. I may try something like that. Just an inverted V or something of that nature. Not sure how far off the ground, what kind of antenna height that you need to be able to have any success with the dipole. But I would imagine it would be a whole lot here, like 75 meters, or maybe Jerry will comment. Anyway, I know Kevin's trying to get out. Perry, good morning to you. Good signals from all you guys. I don't have any reports yet, but it's been listening to you guys meandering around the house here, and real good copy on all of you. Back up to Greenwood, Indiana. Morning, Jerry. Good to hear you on this morning. Good signal up close here this morning. K9GAS, KK4GZQ.
Okay, Kevin, good morning to you. And the other Kevin says hello. He's signed. I do believe he's out already. He wanted to die. But good morning to you. Great signal here. And I've got to make this my last one. Unfortunately, I'm going to be at Menards at 6:30 when they open, because I've still got to take my son to work one more day here. We did that lip pump. Oh, this is K9GAS for ID, and I think it's sucking air because it won't hold its prime. So I'm blowing white smoke, so that's pretty much an indicator of air being sucked into the fuel system. But anyway, yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, winter has seemed like it's like all the other seasons we've had this year. There's no blend. It just goes from one to the next like opening a door. I don't care for that at all, but I need to do two more spots on my chimney to patch that have the brick had split and fell. And there's some places where it's actually down into the... Oh, okay. He's still here. I thought you said tell him hi. Anyway, Kevin, I'll send it your way then. But yeah, Craig had to be at work today. He got called in early. He wanted me to tell everyone, said hello. He texted me, so yeah, I guess it's a little bit more. I guess it's normal for him, but yeah, I want to try to get that done. So every time we have warm weather of any chance, it's going to be windy. That's the problem. That's going to make it do. I use a fiber. It will hold up real good. And hopefully no rain will hit it before tomorrow, so let it kind of dry up a bit before. It'll take a few days to cure, but I think we got mid-20s projected for Monday and Tuesday, so no fun there. Yeah, Perry, give that magnetic loop a try, even if you don't put it on a rotor. Just put it out there, use it as a temporary receiver, and just see what you think, and see how it does for your area, and copying signals. But like I said, don't look for 20 over signals like you would with a normal antenna. But you'll get S7 to S9, but like I said, S1 noise floor, so your copy above the noise floor is very nice, and it's very comfortable listening to, because you don't hear the noise trash with it. And Kevin, 160, double the height of a 75, so higher's better, but it's almost, nobody can really, unless you got big tall stuff, they get where they need to be, but yeah, you get 8th wave or above, seems like it does okay. Get too low, they just straight up signals, and if your ground losses are bad, you're going to have to put some metal underneath it. Some kind of a screen or wires or something to help reduce the ground losses so you get that signal back up, and it'll be a lot shorter distance, but it just depends on where you're wanting, who you're wanting to talk to, and you get a 300-mile radius, with a low antenna, you're doing pretty good. But not bad for rag chew, but one nice thing about lower antennas, the noise floor is quieter. But, again, it's you won't get a commanding signal out there, but you'll be heard within that circle pretty good. So, yeah, give it a shot. But 160, just like the other bands. I hate to sound drone, but, it's the same people on the same spots, different places. But, it's fun to get that in there and give it a shot. And I know when the contest hits it, if you like that kind of stuff, on especially sideband or CW, 160 is a big target. Boy, that thing will just fill up when they have those. So it's kind of fun just to get in there and make some contacts just to see where you're getting, that's kind of neat. Let's see here. Kevin, I guess over to you, and I'm going to make this my last one. So I need to get myself ready, and I got to get a few bags of that mortar mix. I'm going to let him drive my truck, so when he drops me off, I'll take those out, so hopefully I can just see that mix done, and up and down the ladder. Yeehaw. Boy, that's not going to be fun, but got to get that done. At least those couple of spots patched up before bad weather gets here, so I don't end up with a real mess next spring. Anyway, KA2ZNI, send it your way, Kevin. Good morning, Kevin, Perry. Great to hear you guys this morning. Thanks for a nice little AM fix. Oh, and yesterday, Kevin, I just made one. I don't like it when the groups are that big, but I just wanted to get in there to make a comment to John for something we're doing, but I don't know if he heard me because I don't think he acknowledged this, so I think I'll have to text him, but yeah, that was, the signals were up and down marginal for some places and good in others, but it was not quite like the signals I normally hear. And I missed you. I think I got in there. I heard you were in there, but I don't know if I caught you or not. I don't remember. K2ZNI, here she comes. 730 K9GAS.
Okay, Jerry, very good. K9GAS here in the group, signing K2ZNI. I want to say 73s to you, and have yourself a good morning, Jerry. Great to hear you in there this morning. And good luck with your project here a little later on. I'll get a video uploaded here shortly, and that'll be there for your convenience when you get time for your listening pleasure. So anyway, good to hear you in there this morning. Great signal. Never missed a beat out here. 20 over 9 solid for the last... I don't know. Well, ever since we've been on for, a good hour and a half now, I guess. So, Kevin, nice to hear you on this morning. Really nice signal. You're probably between 10 and 20 over. Nice to have some of these, don't like the snow, don't like the cold, but nice to have the wintertime conditions back. Band is really quiet up here this morning. A couple hours ago, I heard a little lightning static going on, a little lightning crashing here and there. Got on the lightning maps there, see a couple of speckles down through the south, but for the most part, just about a 5 noise level up here. And with everybody rolling in at 10 to 20 over, it's just like you're sitting right here. Perry, you came up there last time. You were probably up to 10 over, sometimes 15 over at times. I noticed that yesterday morning, too. I think you were on. I think it was yesterday morning. That it seemed like later in the morning it got. About this time, you got stronger there for a while, and that's what you're doing this morning. So, yeah, very good on the computer. Well, I think I'm just going to bring my power tower out here and hook it up for a while. And on that one, we've got 4 hard drives in it, 32 gig of RAM to 99. Just got it not too long ago. And I'll stick that out here and play with it for a while. This laptop doesn't quite seem to handle the challenge of rendering videos from active presenter and doing a number of other things at the same time. But with that other one, we'll have no problem. And Kevin, thank you for the card. We got that yesterday afternoon. Appreciate that.
That was certainly very thoughtful.
St. George. That is right.
I can see it sitting around the first one on the side.
So later there, I'm going to put it with my collection of QSL cards I've gotten, and yeah, that was real nice of you to. I'm going to go and pull up some St. George videos. It's really cool, you know. Even with Dave, W3MMR being down in Morelia, he sent us up a video a couple of days ago of what it's like down there, and people go to these different areas. I like to pull up YouTube videos, and you know, everybody's got a little different view of things and taking different recordings and different areas. So I like to pull those up and kind of get a feel for some of these places that people visit. I myself have always been intrigued with Ireland, and time to time I'll pull up the YouTube videos of Ireland and see all the new videos that people have shot and uploaded, and just fun of a way to visit a place without leaving your easy chair. So anyway, that's the story there. So I'm going to go ahead and make this my last one. I might go back in here in a little bit, but I need to take a little break. I'll grab a cup of coffee and grab a quick bowl of cereal here, settle my stomach. But great to hear you this morning. Nice to hear you, Kevin. So I say 73s to Western Terry, 73s to you, Kevin. Gary is out of there, and I am going to go into listening mode. I'll have a little bit of breakfast here this morning. So great to hear you guys on. Appreciate you letting us in here from time to time to bounce it around. And as the winter sets in here, I'll be out here a little bit more. I think I made it all 3 days last week on my time off, and I'm pretty sure I'll be in this fall break. So over to you, Perry, W3MMR. Sounding A-OK out here this morning. Sounding real good. Said your signal's coming up, and we'll see what you are this time around. 10 to 15 over that last go around. Kevin, you're 20 over 9 at times. We'll see y'all later. 7-3s. Have a good morning. W3MMR, KA2ZNI.
KA2ZNI, W3MMR. Well, you're 15 over as well, Kevin. That pretty much that whole go around there. So, and audio sounds great this morning. You've been solid the whole time. When I don't know if you're subscribed to my channel, but I'll have the video up here. With whenever I'm done talking this morning, and then I'll get it processed and loaded up to the tube, and it should be up right 9 o'clock this morning, 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. So if you're a subscriber, subscribe and hit the bell. And every time I load a new video, you'll get a notification that I loaded a new one up there. But yeah, you should be on quite a few on there now. So I've been hearing you pretty frequently in the morning. So I try to get a video rolling every time I get on, on here in the morning. And so that's the story on that. Where are we at here? Kevin, about 160 meter antenna, Kevin. What I'm doing here is, I'm sure you know, if you've heard me mention, I'm really living in space where I live here in the city. And I'm using a 25-foot doublet and an inverted V. The apex is 60 feet, 600 ohm ladder line fed. Okay, and I have about 100 foot of feed line going from the front window of the shack up over the porch roof, across to the middle of the yard to a 10-foot piece of PVC pipe, and then up to the feed point there at the in the tree. And what was suggested to me by my father was to put out a bunch of ground radios, start out with 1 or 2 just to see how it works before you go out and put 1 million ground radios out. So I went out and put 4 out. 2 of them are about 150 feet long, and the other 2 are about 25 feet long. Just the reason they're only 25 feet long because they cover my little front yard, out the window to each corner of the front yard. Then the other 2 go back around the side of the house and all the way back to the far corners of my property. And what I do is I hook the antenna up as a long wire. So I short both feeders here at the tuner and hook it up as a long wire for 160. So basically what it is a vertical with a big capacitance hat. You know, the legs of the antenna that are normally transmitting on 75 meters up there end up being a big capacitance hat, and the rest of the antenna basically turns into a vertical for 160. And I had a good match. My 10-tech tuner, my 238, can't match it below. Can't get it down below a 2-to-1 SWR, but I have K989C, the Versa Tuner 5, and the T-Network tuner, and it matched it down to a flat match last night. I was getting great signal reports. 30 over S9 signal reports from here up into New England. The thing is about it, there's a lot of selective fading because it's vertically polarized, so there seems to be a lot more selective fading, but it works, and I'm getting out, and I could not be happier. And so everybody's telling me this antenna is going to be great. The setup's going to be great for DX, especially in the being the vertical and the stations that are much farther away. The antenna will work great for. So I don't know if you have the room for a half-wave half-wave wire for 160. Go for it. If you can get it up, that's obviously the way to go. But since I'm compromised here with what I have, the space that I have, I am so happy that I'm able to get on 160 with the size of the property that I have. Like, my father's floored that I'm able to get on 160, so, because he's been over here many times and sees what I'm working with here. And the fact that I'm getting out and I have any signal at all is a great thing. But Jerry had brought up mag loops because I have a high noise floor here. My noise floor is 10 to 15 over S9 on 160. So if I could use a mag loop for receiving and bring that signal to noise ratio higher, it would be great. But WebSDR really helps out if I need it. But last night I was copying everybody because everybody was 20 to 30 over S9, so I had no problem copying people. But the WebSDR is there as a tool if I need it, and I am going to try the magnetic loop way that Jerry had suggested. 730U, Jerry, Kevin, I think you said that you were signing as well. 730U, KA2ZNI. It's always a pleasure hearing you guys in the morning. And back down to you, Kevin, KK4GZQ, Kevin, from W3MMR.
Sorry about that, Perry. W3MMR with KA2ZNI and K9GAS signed. That's 73 to Jerry and Kevin from KK4GZQ. And real good on everything, especially when you talk about the antenna. I love listening to anybody talk about antenna design, anything to do with it. Got a bunch of material out here in the garage. I've all kinds of aluminum tubing. I've got boom out here. I've got guide wire. I've got filling pan. Just tons of stuff to make stuff. But guess what? I haven't made much in a while. But need to, Perry. And Perry, thanks for your comments on the 160 antenna. That sounds like that worked out great. I've got the room here to probably get a 160 meter dipole. I actually got the room to put up a full wave loop for 160 if I did it right. Just mean a lot of stringing it through some trees and etc., getting it over, and I think I can do a problem. But it would take some effort. A lot of maybe some climbing involved, etc. Maybe even a bucket lift would be very, very handy. Try to get it up and secure it. I've pondered out in the backyard quite a bit, Perry, and I've got some antennas up here on the property already 2 towers, and I've got 2 more towers here. I've got a 55-foot crank-up tilt-over I want to get up one of these days. And I've got some ROM 25G here that with a hinge plate that I'm thinking about making that my 3rd leg. I could get a Delta loop up with about 90 feet each tower, which would give me the length that I need, Jerry, for a full-wave loop here on 75 meters. But boy, would I like to have one for 160 and feed that thing with some open wire feeders and not have coverage on all bands. Maybe some point. It looks like, now that I've got some time here, it's the same old story every year, Perry. We start in about February or March and work hard all the way through October, November. We take a break here at the end of the year like we just did, and then by the time I've got a little bit of time to do a few things, it's too cold. Oh, me. Anyway, I won't go on and on. Back up to you, Perry, and I listened closely to what you were talking about with the top hat, the capacitance antenna there, and sounds like it's working good for you. I can get a dipole up pretty quick here for the band, Perry, and I can stretch it out and be broadside north-south. But I would probably be only going to be able to average height above ground would probably be somewhere around 30, maybe 40 feet if I got lucky. So I'm just kind of wondering how 30 feet with a big long wire would work on 160. Back up, and like Jerry said, about twice the height of what I have here on 75 meters. So anyway, back up to you, Perry. W3MMR, how copy? I'm on the 610 this morning, KK4GZQ.
I copy you great. You were 15 to 20 over the whole time, Kevin. Excuse me. Get a sip of coffee. No problem at all. 610 sounded great this morning. I love that rig. That or a T368 are kind of my quote-unquote dream transmitters at the moment. I would love to have either one. I just love how they're so big, heavy metal, I love the way they sound. I love the history behind them. Anything that has to do with the military or the Navy really is intriguing to me, and I don't really have the room here in this particular shack for one, but damn it, Kevin, I would make the room. I'd start moving things out of here and get one in here. Excuse me, that's for damn sure. And I've seen pictures of yours on the QRZ page, and it's you have a beautiful piece of equipment there, and all your stuff is great, And now thinking back, I remember you talking about how much room you do have. So, I mean, if you could get, if you can get an antenna up, Kevin, do it. At any height. I know Mike, K3FEF, the guy who owns the Web SDR, I talk to pretty frequently in the evenings here, and talk to him off the air a lot on Facebook and via text, and he just put up a 160 and 80 dipole, both half-wave dipoles fed at the same feed point, kind of what my father's doing. That's what my father's had up for over 20 years now at his property in New Jersey. Is a half-wave piece of wire on 160 and a half-wave wire on 75, both fed at the same feed point. Apex about 75 feet off his tower, and I guess either leg of the 75-meter dipole is off the ground about 30 feet, and the 160s the legs are about 15 feet off the ground. And he, obviously, you've heard him here, how good he does on 75. He does equally as well on 160. But back to my point, Mike's wire is only up about 30 feet, and he's had it up for probably 3 or 4 days now, and he's been doing great with it. So obviously, you know, the higher you can get it, it's obviously, you know, going to be better. But if you can get it at any height, you know, it's going to be better than nothing. And maybe, you know, since if that's as high as you can go, you know, permanently, like Jerry was speaking on earlier about a good ground, maybe put some ground radials underneath of it so you don't get as much absorption, you know, from the ground there. So you know, the ground radials will help get your signal back up into the air. I'd love to work you guys at 160, man. I think that would be great, and especially with how long the band can go on 160 in the evenings. I don't know much about, I don't know the ins and outs of 160 yet. Like I said, you know, I'm still new to it, but in the way it behaves. But it would be great to work you on 160, and I'm sure we could. So any way you can get it up, man, get it up, and I'll keep bugging you about it. So you'll get so annoyed to the point where, okay, I'll just get it up. So real good stuff, man. Well, it's I don't know much about loops, full wave loops. I hear a lot of guys saying that they're on them. I hear that they're a lot quieter for receive. But I don't know much about them. I haven't looked into them really because I don't have the room. But I hear a lot of guys using them, and like I said, I do know that I did hear that the noise floor is lower on a full wave loop. I just don't know the characteristics of how they transmit. Whether it be transmissive, be obviously a horizontal loop. You know, I guess it would be horizontally, you know, polarized. I don't know how they do as far as local work, up to 300, 400 miles, or if they're better for distance, or how that works. Maybe you could speak on that, Kevin. But down to you. BC16 is sounding great this morning, and you definitely got it going on, and the audio sounds phenomenal. KK4GZQ from W3MMR.
W3MMR, I guess with guys, everybody else signed, KK4GZQ. About 1 meter shows 325 watt carrier, another one shows 350. I've got a Burns 43 in line. I'm using a MT3000 as a tuner carry. It's got forward and reflective power. It's the biggest tuner I have in the house here. Seems to do well with the BC610. Anyway, yeah, okay, on the 160 meter antenna, yeah. You know, I was told just to go ahead and just get one up, no matter how high I get it up. At least it would get me on the band, so I may be able to strap something together, and I've got enough wire and insulators and everything needed to do it, Mary. And I've been using this wire for my antennas now for a long time that seems to do very well. I built a 4-element quad antenna and made it out of this magnet wire. It's a 14-gauge enamelized copper wire. It's a solid wire, and was worried about making the quad out of it because I thought that because where you feed it through the end of your sprouters, that possibly there would be a break or whatever, because it's not you know, like stranded wire. It would, in the corners it would eventually break. But I haven't had a problem out of it ever. And any of my wire antennas I have here on the property are made of that stuff. And I brought it up here at a place in Lexington that rewinds electric motors. and they don't sell to the public, but somebody told me they had it. It comes in a big 5-gallon bucket, and you just kind of pull it out through the top. It's got a top on it, and it spools it out to you that way. Anyway, and then on the 160-meter or any kind of horizontal loop, you know, I've just heard the KC8GUL up in Columbus. Jerry runs one. AB4AM, I think Rob's down in near Lakeland, Georgia. Just a couple like right off the top of my head. Run those full wave loops, and like you said, quieting. Antenna obviously has some good gain because I've heard nothing but very expensive how these guys run them. As far as anything outside of this region or this area of the United States, I'm not sure. As far as how high you've got to get them off the ground to get back to DIF. So, and then feed it with 450 ohm ladder line, and then you've got, from what I understand, an antenna that works on all bands. So that's pretty attractive right there in itself, and kind of worth the efforts of getting one up. If I can get it up and keep it up without too many problems, maybe that's what I'll do here at some point. I laugh. I've been talking about this for over probably 2 years about getting this loop up. But back up to you, Perry. W3MMR, KK4GZQ.
N4EDQ. N4EDQ. Good morning. Get you right in here. W3MMR. Name here is Perry. Perry, Papa Echo Romeo Yankee. And we're located in Chester, Pennsylvania, 7 miles southwest of Philadelphia. Good morning to you, Henry. We'll get it right down to you here. I just want to comment on, make a couple comments real quick. Speaking of all-band antennas, this antenna that I'm on right now, this 125-foot doublet, I had a half-wave dipole or a half-wave inverted V here on 75 meters for a while. I made a 14-gauge speaker wire. Was this 14 gauge? Yeah, I think it was 14 gauge. Anyway, when the apex is only about 30 feet, okay, and I used to use a G5RV apex about 40 feet for upper band work for 20, 17, 20, and 40, and did good with the G5RV in the upper bands. Did very well. Worked 100 countries with it, okay. But with that being said, this antenna has been a vast improvement over that G5RV. I used to get, S7 to maybe S8 signal reports into Europe with 5x7, 5x8 signal reports into Europe with the G5RV. But with the doublet, I'm getting S9 plus, S9, 10 over, 20 over reports into Europe with this antenna. I was able to work the VKs with the G5RV, did fairly well, but 10 over 9 signal reports into Australia with this antenna now with this doublet. And on 75 meters, it's been a vast improvement over the dipole or over the half-wave wire. Reason being, I'm pretty, a lot of people say, oh, a half-wave inverted V should be, should do better, equal or better than this doublet. Things are right around the same length, and it's a resonant dipole, but this outperforms that by 10 dB. I think it's because of the height, because 30 feet was basically right at the roof line of the houses in the neighborhood, and now it's up 60. The doublet's up 60 feet, so I think the height has a lot to do with that, rather than, antenna to antenna, one being more efficient than the other. So I think antenna height has a lot to do with that. And good on the bird of 43 meter, Kevin. I used to have bird meters here. I still have them in the mobile. I still run them in the Suburban, but I have the LP500 here in the shack now, which is great. What a great investment. I mean, it was the best probably $700 I've ever spent in this hobby for this LP500 station monitor, and real good on the tuner. That's a really nice tuner. It's a stout tuner as well, the MT3000. So over to you, Henry. You guys pick it up for a minute. I got to run down the street and grab a pretzel. I'm absolutely starving, but I should be back in about 10 minutes, so I'll jump back in here and check back in when I get back. N4EDQ in the fine group from W3MMR. Be right back.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Perry. 93.3 MMR rocks. Good to hear you. I got thinking of your dad the other day. Woke up thinking about him. Hope he's doing okay. Good morning, Kevin. And you sound good, Perry, by the way. This is N4EDQ in Blue Ridge. Kevin, I'll keep it short. I'll give it to you. How you been doing? We've been real busy. Haven't even had airtime time. So, taking Wednesdays off so I could jump in here once in a while. But you sounded good last go around. You were about 20 over. Perry's about 15. KK4GZQ from N4EDQ Blue Ridge.
Been wondering about you. N4EDQ with W3MMR, KK4GZQ. Okay, Henry, great to hear you this morning. And I was just going through some emails yesterday and saved one from you so I would still have your phone number. You had sent me an email a couple months back. I made sure I didn't delete yours. Get a lot of stuff on there that just ends up piling up. And boy, am I ever behind on trying to keep up with returning emails and text messages. And Lord have mercy, even the Facebook messages. Of course, I've got to ignore about 90% of those. But nonetheless, and then I've just been real foreign at getting back to people here lately, Henry. It seems by the time I get everything done for myself, I just don't want to, it's a matter of time. I'm just trying to give people proper time out here, I guess you might say. Anyway, Henry, big signal from Blue Ridge this morning. You're 25, 30 over. Beautiful audio. I guess you're on the FT101 double E down there this morning with the FL2100. It sounds great. You just always hold a huge signal in here. Anyway, and Perry, real good on all. And the Bird 43 and the Suburban and so forth. Yeah, I had a big mobile out, set up at one time with big Leaks DeVille and some big batteries in the back and all that good stuff. I don't do that much anymore. I was into the CB hunt heavy here there for a long time, but and I still have one. The quad that I built was made up here on the tower was made for 11, and I still do a little talking, but only when the skip's running is when I'm really truthfully interested in getting in there. And then I've got some friends here locally that I talk to, keep in touch with. There's just so much mess on there anymore. A lot of times I end up coming here for some more, better time on the radio, I guess you might say. So, Perry, let me get it back up your way. And Henry, good signal. I'm glad you're back in it. Okay, on taking off on Wednesdays. I'm down to just a steady drift now. Everything's kind of turned down several notches, and I'm working. Maybe if I'm lucky here a couple of days a week, whatnot. But I'm in my pretty much in my off season here, I guess, getting real close. And I'll be going for some surgery here over the next couple of months. So anyway, back up to you, Perry. W3MMR with N4EDQ, KK4GZQ.
He went for breakfast. He said he'll be back.
Okay, Henry. I didn't hear him say that. Sorry about that. Go ahead and pick it up, and we'll see if anybody else comes in here. Over.
Yeah, was anybody else still wanting to jump in? KK4GZQ, good morning, young man. Go ahead and make one. We got Kevin in there also.
Well, don't really know. But anyway, this is Paul at Hardyville, WB4WCJ. Just came up for radio here, and don't have too much to add right now, so just had to check the radio, see if it's working. Don't know what the frequency people are. Let me stand by here. WB4WCJ.
All right, Paul. This is Henry in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and you got KK4GZQ, Kevin. He's in Kentucky. Very good. Well, you coming in okay, Paul, from Hardyville. No problem. Kevin? Yeah, you know, I told you after I had that operation, I felt pretty good. I mean, it was a little recovery, about 6 weeks with me with everything that I had done. I had the hernia and the diverticulitis. I had the colon, part of the colon taken out, but it took about 6 weeks. But my whole recovery has been almost a year. In December, it'll be 1 year. And I'm still not doing a whole lot of lifting. They don't want me to lift anything over 20 pounds, so I got 3 guys working. They're doing all the lifting. I'm just kind of fiddling around. I'll do measurements. I'll do sawing and stuff like that with the saw, but I don't do any lifting. I'm going to lift the board or something and hand it to them. That's about it. But I just had oral surgery here about 3 weeks ago, and that kind of went bad for a little while. And went back in Monday, and they got that hopefully straightened out. So I can talk again. Well, a man who can't talk sure can't play radio. What? That's like robbing me. Anyway, so you're in your downtime now. Well, let me see. We got to figure out what you could do in the wintertime. Maybe you can pick up a few little handyman jobs here and there. But I've been doing okay, but I kind of figured out ham radio for me is probably more of a weekend Saturday, maybe a Saturday or Sunday morning, and probably a winter hobby. During the summer, I don't have a whole lot of time with the stuff that's been going on. Right now, I'm kind of booked right through the holidays. I'm remodeling the Blue Ridge Community Theater. We got that job. I'm in the middle of that one. I'm in the middle of a basement remodel finished. I'm trying to get that one finished. And then I got to start a bathroom for somebody. And I'm trying to get everything done before the holidays. The biggest one is the community theater. We're adding on a room for them, and they want to do their dancing by the holidays as their meeting room. They got one, they need a bigger one, so we're really pushing hard. Anyway, that's what's been going on over here, and yes, I'm on my 101WE. I still have not retuned since I tuned it up a year ago. I don't know, this is kind of like crystal controlled. I never changed the dial or anything, maybe just fine-tune the dial. I almost never have to retweak anything, so I guess if I don't change bands, she should be okay. Maybe by the end of the year, well, let's see, June was a year when I had this station, so maybe I'll wait till next June to maybe fine-tune it. As long as it sounds okay and everything looks good, there's no sense in playing with it. KK4GZQ, N4 Delta Queen, Blue Ridge.
W3MMR back.
Okay, Perry. I'll tell you what, I'll make a short one here, and Perry, you'll get it over to Whiskey Bravo 4, Whiskey Charlie Juliet, WB4WCJ. Good morning to you as well, WCJ, and I recognize the voice. I just cannot put a name to it. I've talked with you before, and you're sounding good up here in the Lexington, Kentucky area this morning. And Henry, yeah, I always I'll keep a few jobs through November, December, January, and part of February, and I'll get back at it in February. I'm going to use the downtime to hopefully build a trailer. Depends on how this surgery
turns out when I've got to come out of pocket. But I need a dual axle trailer. I've got a 300-gallon tank. It's one of those big square tanks that you see that's kind of mounted on top of a permanent skid, if you will. And it's got like a metal cage around it. You guys have seen those. I'm converting that. It was used to haul liquor down here at Heaven Hill Distilleries in Bardstown, Kentucky. It was used when they distill the liquor, put it in these tanks and take it over to the bottling plant, which was evidently a little ride over to the next building or whatever. So that's the way they transported it. But I use that for my main tank. I've got I'll have a 30-gallon detergent tank, hose reels, and I've got a machine that goes on that that's at 4,000 PSI adjustable and at 8 gallons per minute. And I'm hoping this will really cut down some labor time for me, because it seems like more and more I'm having to do these jobs by myself, as I'm having to do one here today. But we're supposed to reach a high today here around 60, so it's getting down there to where it's getting pretty cool to be out pressure washing, but I have done it down to about 40 degrees. And I've got the gear to wear in case I have to do that. But I've actually washed in every single month for the past 2 years, Henry. And I'm hoping to be able to do the same this year, to be able to keep the tradition, if you will. So we might pick up some paint jobs. I have a pretty good name for myself, being a pretty good painter around. And not that I particularly like doing it, but pays well, and I'm pretty good at it. So we do a little bit of interior painting during the winter if I feel like it, and so on. And anyway, that's all from me. Let me go ahead and send it back up to W3MMR, and again, Perry, it goes over to Whiskey Bravo 4, Whiskey Charlie Juliet, WB4WCJ, W3MMR with the group KK4GZQ. Too many W's.
And another breaking station in there didn't quite get the call, but good morning to you. Name here's Perry. Good morning to WB4WCJ. That's a tongue twister there, Kevin. Especially saying W3MMR with WB4WCJ. You can see how your tongue would get flipped upside down and backwards. Nevertheless, good morning, everyone. Let's get along here. Just getting back from the gas station. See, that's the one thing about living where I live. I live close to, the gas station. The convenience store. I have a deli half a block away at the end of my block. There's a pizza place a half a block away. That is the one thing, probably the only good thing. It is the only good thing about living where I live. Besides that, there's really nothing else good about it. That and the fact that I work 3 blocks away from my house as well is another big plus. But it's, I'd much rather drive 45 minutes and have a nice quiet noise floor and acres to, 5 or 6 acres to radio and the radio on, and the peace and quiet, of a nice winter morning. We waking up and, you're walking through the grass. You can hear the grass crunching underneath your feet from the frost, and, the sun coming up over the cornfields. It's just, I miss it. And that's where I grew up with that over at high school, in South Jersey, where my father's at right now. And, it's just, I really miss it. But I'm trying to get back over there. I'm in the process of looking for a place over there, hopefully buy a house over there within the next year. And I'm actively looking for employment over that way, closer to there. 'Cause it would be about a 45-minute drive each way if I was to keep my job here and move over to New Jersey. So it's not out of the question by any means, but obviously I would like to save money on gas and time, especially driving a Suburban, 99 Suburban, which gets about 10 miles to the gallon at the most. So I would definitely be spending a lot more money in gas. Anyway, let's get over to the braking station. And then the braking station, you'll go ahead and flip it over to WB4WCJ. Paul, looks like in South Carolina. So over to the braking station. This is Whiskey 3, Mike Romeo. The name's Perry.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning to you, Kevin. Up over by Cleveland, Wisconsin. We got 28 degrees and expecting snow here all morning. We got December weather in November here, and I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe you could make a comment. Kevin, I think you got a decent copy on me if I have enough audio on this thing. It's a Valiant here this morning in a D104. And I'll keep the transmission short in case it's sounding really bad. I haven't heard Paul up, and I guess I'll turn it over to him. Maybe might need some help. WB4WCJ N9KG.
Anyway, you're not quite as tall as some of the other guys in here. Anyway, this is WB4WCJ Paul at Hardyville, just closer from that. Hardyville, South Carolina on I-95, and let me see, I've been retired for about 10 years, and I've had, I'm not doing too much here, retired here, and I worked for about 10 years. Let's see, been having some really bad line noise for a number of years, and line noise, but I got this fixed here a week or two. I can hear something on the radio here, and so I'm trying to check in a little bit more. So I hopped in there. I was invited for somebody to come in. Anyway, I'm going to check through my head here, and I don't know where it goes to either. It don't really have a way to write anything down here. If you write anything down, very much, the way it's set up. So I'll throw it up and let someone pick it up. WB4WCJ, over.
I think it goes to Kevin.
You still in there, Kevin?
Sorry about that. It goes over to Henry, N4EDQ, to pick it up. KK4GZQ.
Oh, it does. All right. That's right. Then I gotta give it to you. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Paul again. Perry, Kevin, doing good. Yeah, Perry, I was wondering, some reason I thought you lived close to your dad, but I know you'd be looking forward to going up there and getting into the country. Say your dad hello for me. I haven't talked to him for a while when you see him. And you sound good. I looked at the station. Perry, for a short break, are you working at a radio station, or you still got the other little shop going?
Nope, I'm still working on cars for a living. I'm working from service manager and lead technician at a Meineke car care center about 3 blocks from me. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know that. I thought that if I'm right, I think your dad said something about you having a CB shop or something like that. And then then when I saw the radio thing, I thought you were still at the radio station. I owned the radio station, WKFL. Sold that thing about 20-something years ago. AM 1170. It's one of our stations. But anyway, very good. Well, today's weather over here, we're sitting at about 28, 29 degrees right now here in the mountains. I'm living it. Every day, Kevin, it's been about 27. Wake up in the morning, 25, 27 degrees. And, Kevin, give me your opinion about retuning this little 101EE. Like I said, I haven't done it for over a year. It was a year old in June, and I haven't done it. And let's see, it's been a year or 2 years now. Yeah, it's got to be a year. And then I figured I might touch it up here one of these days, but everything looks good, so I can't see why I need to play with it. Just everything, all my meter readings look great, and I figure since I don't change bands with it, I don't need to change it. So we stay on frequency, and that's about it. KK4GZQ from N4EDQ. And by the way, if you want a painting job, come on over here. You can work with me. I'll put you up. We got a painting job coming up. If you're really bored, come over here. N4EDQ back to KK4GZQ.
Okay, Henry. N4EDQ with the group KK4GZQ. Good morning to N9KG owner Bruce. Good signal from Wisconsin. I was in the kitchen as you were making your transmit. And boy, you're strong in here this morning. And Bruce, I think that the Valiant sounded good. I want to listen to you again. It kind of sounded like possibly maybe I may not have been tuned in on your transmit frequency on the H1580. It sounded like you might be just a fudge off frequency, but it could have been on my end. So I want to listen to your audio again, but it sounded like you had plenty of it. And I know that I think that's the one that you're working on for a friend. And I'll listen at it again on this round, Bruce. Good morning to you. Retuning the FT101E. As I remember, you have a pre-selector control on there, and then you've got a load and a tune on there. You'll want to make sure that you read your manual on your resting carrier here on AM for your grid current, and make sure that your grid current is where it's supposed to be within the tolerance range. And other than that, you've got a carrier control on there, Henry, and I always just, when I tuned up one of those, just made sure I had the carrier back down for about 20 watts of carrier, and did my tuning from there. But now that's just the way I always remember doing it. I'd touch up the pre-selector first, and then go back over my load and my plate, and dip my plate last. Hope that's helpful to you. That's all I can just remember. Just looking up here at the 101 Twins, I have it in a little different setup than the. It's got a plate and a load. Does it have a pre-selector? But I know that the FT101E does, and all the double E and the EX. Anyway, let me keep it moving here. Let's see. Henry had passed me. I go back to I think I go back to Perry, W3MMR to take it. I'm good for one more. KK4GZQ in the group.
Yep, I'm here. I'm still here. Sorry, guys, I'm still here. KK4GZQ in the fine group W3MMR. Well, everybody sounded great this morning. Great group of guys in here this morning. I'm really glad everybody's on this morning. And I got up nice and early this morning for my day off, and been in here since 5 o'clock, so I'm good for one more as well. Now that I got some Philadelphia pretzel factory soft pretzels in my stomach, I got another kick in the butt here. Had a fresh cup of mud, so we're rip-roaring and raring to go. I'm gonna get outside after get off of here and play a few more ground radios out for this 160 meter antenna. So Let's see here. Henry, no, I'm not doing radio work anymore. I'm not doing the CB work anymore. I got tired of it. I get tired of the people. It's just, it's not just, I'm not saying it's people who are on 11 meters. It's not that at all. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying people in general. Okay, I run a Facebook group called High Fidelity CB Radio, trying to teach these guys how to sound good if they want to on there. Broadcast quality AM on 11 meters. Yeah, shoot me, I know guys are probably out there face palming right now. I don't care. That's where I come from. There's 11 meters. I put a lot of time and effort into this group and trying to get people to sound good. And, injecting, processed audio into balanced modulators. Put many instructions on tons of different on how to do it on many different radios. How to bypass all the audio sections in the radios and where to go in, what to use. Information on processing. There's many write-ups on there. And I'd wake up in the morning with, or throughout the day, I'd get 10 or 15 messages throughout the day. My phone would be ringing off the hook from Facebook Messenger, because you can call people on Facebook Messenger, ringing off the hook from these people I didn't know. People asking me the same questions over and how do I do this? How do I do that? And where I had it posted right in the group, go here, and this is, go to the file section, and it'll tell you how to do everything. And the pin post said search previous posts. All the answers that you probably would need 9 times out of 10 are already answered, and they're going to be in here. And I would get people, basically demanding me to tell them, how to do things. Hey, I wouldn't get a, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 my name's so-and-so, and I would get no introduction, anything like that. I don't know these people from Adam, and they would be basically demanding, of me, saying, how do I do this to this radio? What do I have to do this to this radio? And this would be at 3:30 in the morning. My phone would, Facebook Messenger would be ringing off the hook at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I got fed up with it. I said, I can't do this anymore. So I finished all the radios that I had, shipped them all back out, and said, I'm done. I'll do work for locals and guys that, I'm from close friends with here, local to me. But besides that, I'm done. And I haven't been on 11 meters in a while either, because just the people around here on there, it's just a lot of cursing and a lot of, it's all Super Bowl mentality of, I'm going to key on you and I'm going to do this to so-and-so, or, and my ding-dong is bigger than your ding-dong. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just got tired of it. So I've been here on 75 meters and absolutely loving it. Talking radio with guys, talking about normal things with you gentlemen, and I haven't looked back. I'm not saying that there isn't still a lot of good guys on 11 meters, but a lot of the guys that I know have gotten their had their ham license and they've moved away. All the guys that I really enjoy talking to, and they moved on because of the same stuff. Dealing with all the BS and all the crap. So that's my rant about 11 meters. Sorry for going on it there for a second, but as you can see, it gets under my skin. And Bruce, about your audio, to me, it's a little bit on the I don't know if it's like you're over driving it, but it's tight. The audio is real tight, and it's hard to understand. I would be able to hear you here at the house if the audio was a little bit on the cleaner side, but I was able to pick you up on the web SDR and was able to copy it. But I've been making a recording, and if in about an hour, if you go to my YouTube channel, the AM window, I'll have the recording of it up there, and you can hear what I'm talking about. It's just it's real tight, almost like how it sounds when you're over driving something. It's not like it's over modulated, just a little bit on the tight side. I don't know if anybody else is hearing that, or if it's just me, so maybe somebody else can speak on it. But I'm definitely hearing something that doesn't quite sound right. I think that's all that I got here. So, and Kevin, real quick on the tank and the trailer you're building. Best of luck with that. I'm sure you'll do fine with it. And we use those type of tanks for waste oil at work, and we have a waste oil here. So we recycle all our oil from oil changes and burn it in the wintertime for heat. So it saves us a lot of money. So we don't have to spend for heating oil. We just have to spend a little bit of money on electricity, and we burn off all the oil that we accumulate over the summertime and over the winter, and we don't have to pay somebody to come pick it up. So it's a win-win situation for us there at the shop. So I believe I turn it to you, Bruce. I don't have your call written down. I can't remember. So back over to you, Bruce. I apologize. From W3MMR.
I'm going to pick it up and see if I can help you set it up to Bruce. N9KGR with the group KK4GZQ.
I was just wanting to get a cup of coffee here this morning. And we're going to tell you I'm making a recording of me. There should be on frequency. I think he said audio something narrow. There was a couple of changes. I was taking an open at 6 bucks a case off. Well, let's do it. Good morning to Paul, Copy Alpine, and Henry on your 101E. Well, if you're looking up all play food for Western Natural Research, thanks. Hopefully we're all food. If I go with my 16, I don't have to retool it. I'll just seams and stay right where I left it last. And also my road sheets and things, I don't need a lot of retuning on them. So I was turning it over to WB4WCJ N9KG.
Okay, real fine. I heard N9KGR. N9KGR. So, the band's changing. Come from the station a little bit weak there. So, this is the story on that. Operating the radios here are from the mid-60s. The transceiver and the amplifier here and the oscilloscope, all this stuff is from the mid-60s. All old equipment here operating. So, but it's good to be able to get back on the radio with the line noise. The line noise I had there for several years, and sure happy to be able to get back in here to operate. So that's some of the story here, and sure do enjoy it. So KK4GZQ, I'm looking over to you to let know where to go. KK4GZQ, WB4WCJ.
Okay, very good, Paul. Good morning to you. It's not my turn yet. I'm going to send it back down to Henry in N4EDQ. And great to hear you in there this morning, Paul. You've held a great signal up here in Lexington, Kentucky this morning throughout. Nice to hear you, and hope to catch you back on one of these mornings. N4EDQ to pick it up with the group KK4GZQ.
Yeah, KK4GZQ. N4EDQ returning. Okay, very good. And Bruce, yeah, you're sounding good. It's good over here, but Perry's right. It's a little bit harsh on the audio. Frequency-wise, I think you're maybe slightly off, not a whole lot. But as far as going ahead and tuning the wheel down there, Captain, I don't know how to tune it. I just haven't tuned it up for a while. And like Bruce says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he's right. And other than that, she's working fine. So I'm real pleased with this one. Great little super rig. The fellow that helped me restore it did a super job, and the amplifiers are doing real good. I did add a phase to the top of the amplifier. That's one thing I did, and that sure makes a difference. I don't think you could hear it, but I've got it running. I found the radio shack built in at 110 volts. Got it sitting up. Got some rubber legs under it. Right on top, sucking over the tubes, and the fan down below shove everything up also. So that thing is working good. So I keep it nice and cool. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm going to make this my last one probably. It's almost 7 o'clock. I'm looking out at the daylight showing up a little bit. I'm going to go work in the barn a little bit today here at the house and do some things. And Kevin, I haven't even had a chance to work in my shop ever since I built that shop in the spring. I haven't had a whole lot of time to work inside there. So I got this winter planned for that a little bit. So I'm going to start today. I'm going to go. It's all built. I just got to. I got the workbench all full of stuff. I got some drawers and cabinets underneath. And I got to put stuff away in. Kind of like the shoemaker. You never fix your own shoes, but you fix everybody else. You know how that goes. Something this year, though. I got the outside of the house all spruced up. I have the painters here. I redid the bottom of the house with barn board wood, and I had underground where the garage is, and then where the basement is, and so I covered that all up with barn wood. The old metal shed that I had, I turned that into a huge lean-to, cut it open. I had the barn, I used that metal shed, and then I also got a log cabin barn at the other end of the property. I took that metal shed, cut it off, made a lean-to out of it, covered that thing up with barn wood, and you wouldn't even know that it was a metal building. It really came out nice. And that's my lumber yard, so that's all my extra lumber. There's a pile of lumber in there, so every time we do a job, we end up bringing a little bit home, and then use it on other jobs. I don't go that way. I got my old lumber yard over here. Anyway, back up she comes. And the trailer sounds good. The only thing that you're making a mistake with, if you're going to do a wash truck, man, I think you ought to leave that pump into a liquor truck. Put a hose on it and drive down the road. Kevin, you're all right. Buying a liquor truck for a wash truck. N4GZQ, N4EDQ. You'll get lots of use out of that thing.
Okay, Henry.
N4EDQ is group.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Whiskey Charlie Juliet, Paul signed. 3 Paul did sign, WB4WCJ, 7-3 Paul. Great to hear you in here this morning, and I'm glad you joined in the group. And Perry said something. I'm not taking notes now. I've gotten kind of distracted by some other stuff going on here. It's getting pretty late. I've got to try to get out of here. I'm actually going to wash today, Henry. I've got a complete house and a driveway and the sidewalks and the whole 9 yards. It'll be a pretty good day for me here. And yeah, the way I'm doing it right now, Henry, is I'm pulling up. I've got an enclosed trailer, a 12-footer. I had to get the 7-foot ceiling on mine because of my height. I'm 6'4". I couldn't get in and out of those little 6-foot trailers without bumping my head on the roofing there. The ribs that hold up the roofing stick down, right at the 6-foot level. But Henry, the way I do it now is I come and I bring usually 2 machines in case I have a failure with one. Unload, and they're commercial machines, but I hook up to your water line and do it that way and drag the washer and the hoses around the house as I go, and then sometimes I have to change my supply line to another spigot as I'm going around the house. But this will allow me just to pull up in the driveway, drop the supply line into my tank, and the tank will continue to fill generally about the whole time, and it's got a cutoff. It's got like a valve in it, like a toilet stop shuts off once it's full. It'll have hose reels with at least 200 foot of hose, so I can get, generally around just about any house, and then I'll carry some extra hose with me in case I need to add on. But it'll make it a lot easier for one guy. Not all the unloading and loading equipment on top of the actual work. After you do several during the week, it gets pretty tough on an old man. Anyway, this little access trailer, it's not enclosed. I'll just pull up on site and just drop the hose and go to start my engine and start rolling. So hopefully I'll have enough left in the kitty this year after I get my surgery. Look into buying one of these because the equipment's bought. All I need is a trailer. Got everything else except for the hose reels, and man, they scare you for what they want for a good one. The good ones are made of aluminum and some stainless. And the other ones you buy at about the $400, $500 range are just painted steel, and they rust pretty quickly. So I want one of those good hose reels. I don't want to put it together with nothing but the best. You know how I am, or if I can. Anyway, let me stick in here for one more. I want to try to see if I can help Bruce out on the audio. And Bruce, it sounds like the audio has got a little too much gain. I'm thinking I got a good listen to you that time, and it sounded like it was just over modding, maybe a little bit, starting to get a little mushy. Let's see, I'll send it back to Perry, and then Perry can send it over to you. W3MMR, KK4GZQ, I'll be good for one more.
KK4GZQ. I guess that's how you could describe it. It just, I don't know, the way I describe it, it's just tight. It sounds tight, It sounds, it's not, when I say tight, it's not that you don't have the receive or the transmit bandwidth. It just seems like everything's just kind of squeezed up in there together, you know what I mean? Excuse me for my horrible impression there. That's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, but I'm sure Kevin will steer you in the right direction there. It could just, like you said, it could just be over-modulated a little bit. And hopefully that's all it is, and it's something simple that you guys can figure out real fast. I'm going to sign on this one, guys. I've been in here since 5 o'clock. I'm getting a little tired, actually. I'm getting sleepy, so I'm going to get up and get moving before I lose motivation to get things done today. But real quick, $500 for a hose reel, Kevin? I hope that comes with a hose. I hope it's just not the hose reel. I hope that comes with, a nice length of hose, 50 foot, 100 foot, or however long however much the hose reel can, the capacity of the hose reel there. So I really hope so, because if not, that just sounds like a lot of money for a hose reel with no hose, and I'm sure they're different than the hose reels that we have, say at the shop, that are for compressed air. I'm sure that they're probably a little larger than the ones we use at the shop there, so. And, okay, that's all I got. Henry, Bruce, Kevin, and Paul, it was great hearing you guys this morning. Great QSO as always. And I hope you guys have a great day. Stay warm. If it's cold where you're at, it's still 38 degrees here, so it's still chilly outside. And you guys out in the Midwest, I know we're going to get some snow here today. So I know Kevin, ZNI, was getting some snow while he was on the air this morning, speaking earlier. So, 7-3, everyone. I'll send it over to you, Bruce. Great talking to you guys, and we'll catch you guys down the log. N9KG from W3MMR. 7-3, everyone.
Before I turn the it down a little bit. See if that's going to help things. But I guess I'll have to poke around in this thing a little more to get the sound the way I want. Like I say, it's a work in progress. So, maybe I could turn down some more. I am looking at my phone for more lemon too. And it seems to work alright, but, you know, who knows? Should try to listen to myself on a different receiver. That's where the SDRs can get, you know, all the remote location. But I don't have one in this room. No computers around here. In this room anyway, close by. Yeah, Kevin, good luck on your trailer. It'll be nice when you get all that stuff done. You know, everything, there is more room with dual axle. That sounds like a major improvement. But you know what they say, you gotta spend money to make money. The old saying. And I'll pass on my 73 also. Good morning, Henry, and good morning, Bob. 73 Barry. WB4WCJ, KK4GZQ. Everybody have a good day.
Hey, Bruce. Paul signed out. Do me a favor real quick before you sign out of here. Can you, and 73 Perry, if you got to run up there, I understand. I need to get busy and get going here myself, or I'm going to end up being late. So, Bruce, the audio gain control on the Valiant, try cranking it back just a little bit more, and let's see if that's the problem there. Over.
All right. Well, I'll keep going down.
Yeah, it did help it. It did help it. You're not, if I was looking at, I'm not looking at it on scope or whatever, but you're kind of eliminating some of that distortion that you've got on your high notes there, on your peaks, Bruce. And you know, I know you've got it loaded and tuned properly. But that did clean it up, Bruce. A little better. Over.